Barely 3 years old, 122 Baseline Road has already developed a reputation for violence, including the killing of a man last summer.
I had no idea we put women into that building and children. I hear all kinds of terrible stories about that building.
Now an auditor's report to council explains why things have gone so wrong inside a public housing building that opened with such promise. Specifically, the building was designed as affordable housing for individuals not requiring social supports. But the mix of tenants was changed to qualify for federal rapid housing funds. 54% were homeless or at risk of homelessness, 23% were dealing with mental health, addiction issues, and 23% were women and children fleeing domestic violence.
I am quite frankly shocked that we have not heard from the women's advocates in this city about this concern.
The audit report says tenants require support for mental health, poverty, substance abuse, and child protection. In addition, the building's annual maintenance budget of $444,000 in 2022 has now ballooned 35% because of damage. And, quote, there is a risk that the planned annual replacement reserve funding will be insufficient to maintain this asset in good condition. City staff explain they're working with the operator, London Middlesex Community Housing.
We are certainly committed to working with them to ensure their work and keeping their tenants safe.
We were discussing as far as looking at the population moving forward and making those course corrections, but we are actively working with them on it.
Changing the mix of residents inside the building could take a long time, as the turnover of public housing units tends to be low, and even those who are evicted have the right to appeal that eviction to Ontario's Landlord and Tenant Board.
I don't think we can wait. There are people living in situations that they don't feel safe, like incredibly unsafe. I've got grown men at 122 Baseline telling me how terrified they are. And so to find out that we have women and children who've been through trauma and are fleeing domestic violence is very concerning.
Councillor Elizabeth Pelosa says there are steps that should be considered.
Looking at how to either upgrade the building to accommodate what's there, looking to see if we can bring in some wraparound supports to help individuals who are there. If space is made available in another building, offering perhaps more appropriate placement for them.
Lessons learned from 122 Baseline Road have been implemented in the design and the tenant selection for the newest LMCH building at 345 Sylvan Street. Daryl Newcombe, CTV News.